Welcome to the CTB Zodiac channel. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the hottest news of the day. Our newsletter today includes the following. In February of 2023, Gemini will mature, so you should readjust your energies, take the opportunity, and fortify your course of action. The educator anticipates positive news for Gemini, or that they will find the confidence to confront their fears. The energy of Gemini has shifted somewhat, yet you can do without them. Gemini must figure out how to readjust energies and seize this unexpected opportunity to address the situation. Some of your pals may be stuck in the impasse with you and give up hope of ever breaking it. The instructor thinks you're worrying too much. Having faith in oneself is crucial. To resolve this issue, all Gemini needs to do is take a stand in their own way. I'm curious as to how it seems. Gemini have started to let their guard down, and this is the single most critical development. Mostly, this is reflected in the popularity of the astrological sign Gemini. Gemini no longer stubbornly resists when confronted with reality or what has happened. Perhaps the original Gemini just didn't want to believe it. Generally speaking, Gemini isn't someone you can put all your trust in. It seems to me that Gemini just wants to wrap himself up in mystery, as if there's something about him that he doesn't want anyone else to know. This likely has something to do with his past, having witnessed or experienced things too significant to let go of. Gemini is wary of letting anyone else in. Gemini truly wants to bury some things, and I don't want more people to view those engravings. But the sentiment is still very evident, and I don't want to move forward with such engravings. That which is buried will remain buried, the instructor wants to assure Gemini. How you leave an impression on the world is something that stays with you forever in your heart. It's best to just embrace the baptism of light with grace and face it head-on. Perhaps you are giving things more weight than they deserve, but in reality, there is no need for reconciliation or untangling. Emotions that have become unstable for a Gemini are hard to normalize. According to Gemini's instructor, he or she has been like this for quite some time. Gemini should pay close attention to this. There will be a shift in eye contact as well. Gemini can feel like their efforts are pointless at first, but as they continue to deny themselves, they'll eventually realize their efforts are worthwhile. This is not the moment where actions can no longer be undone. The instructor also remarked that twins take themselves too seriously, whereas in reality, the sign of Gemini watches and waits patiently for opportunities to present themselves. Wait a moment and give your thoughts a rest, alright? Allow yourself some time to adjust, and give yourself some breathing room. It's not always necessary to force oneself to let go and let God. The instructor reassured the students that Gemini will still encounter favorable circumstances. There's a chance they won't find out if Gemini can't catch their breath. That chances can be taken advantage of. Those with the Gemini sun sign who are under the control of destructive forces will never know what it's like to fall in love. It's possible for Geminis to overlook a good love opportunity if one presents themselves. Thus, the instructor stresses once more that this is a public divination. I'd suggest coming to me so we can have a one-on-one chat if you need some direction. One-on-one interaction is more personalized and true to your needs. According to the educator, Gemini has found his or her soul match. You embody that spirituality by becoming spiritual. A Gemini's heart is pure and sincere. Compatibility exists between the other person and Gemini. When two people are in close proximity to one another, they can pick up on each other's mental state. According to their instructor, the Gemini are not yet out of their plight, and the test posed by the cosmos is not over. Perhaps soon Gemini will find themselves embroiled in fresh fights and begin to convince themselves once more. In Gemini's mind, this is the key to inner peace, thus they'll keep pushing themselves until they get it. Gemini believes he has the strength to face challenges when he has connected with positive energy. The instructor thinks that Gemini actively repels me into a bad state, although Gemini has no say in the matter. Gemini's life is changed, but the instructor thinks it's a good opportunity to learn how to channel negative energy for positive ends. Don't be too hard on yourself if you're a Gemini. Learning to overcome bad feelings on your own is a major victory. Each day is a gift from the universe, and it becomes easier for Gemini to progress along the path to introspection and self-management with each passing day. When your energy levels are high, nothing can faze the twins Gemini. The teacher is still sad for us Gemini because we're in so much suffering. Some of our pals may have been betrayed, may have hidden away and lost the will to recover. The instructor, though, expresses optimism that Gemini would ultimately realize his or her sacrifices were worthwhile. Be wary of Gemini's current air of superiority. Despite appearances, the twins have proven time and again to be among the most resilient of all the signs. That said, Gemini can lose control at any moment. Let your guard down, alright? You don't have to hold it all in, you can cry even when you're in agony, and you can find your own method to deal with it. There needs to be space for Gemini to discharge negative energy and reset the chaotic atmosphere. We may never see it again if Gemini doesn't get better soon. One's counterpart's focus, this is not yet resolved, therefore Gemini needs to try its best to feel better. There's no reason to feel discouraged or to let yourself go under. To feel down and pessimistic, that's okay. The stars align in favor of our Gemini. The instructor feels the need to remind Gemini that the past is just that, the past. Resting in nature allows Gemini to breathe from the heart, experience their own feelings, tap into the universal life force, and guide themselves into the next cycle with integrity. You may still be harboring some obsessions, but throughout the course of the cycle, they will become less and less powerful, if they exist at all. It'll all work out, but first Gemini has to heal himself and find his way to the bright side.